Welcome on board.
Thanks. Looking forward.
What are we doing today? Where are we going? Is it your first time or?
Yes.
Like first time on track in general or?
Yes, on a yes.
Also, so you never been on the ring?
Never been on the ring.
Oh, that's awesome. I wish I would be on your seat right now. Because I would do so much to be able to experience the first time always, and it's for me a big honor to make it for you there.
So also I have not afterwards, like in the 620.
Oh wow, you're doing the full house today.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You should actually drive it later then as well.
Probably. Yeah.
Well, let's see if we can get you hooked.
Probably.
Yeah.
Next time I come back, I will drive.
That's good. A lot of people have currently fear for coronavirus, but the worst virus in the world is Nürburgring virus because it gets you, it bits you, and yeah. You want to show it. All right. Well, then I guess I can tell you something about the track while we do it. Good. So, welcome on the main straight of the Nürburgring Nordschleife, the longest straight in the world of any racetrack currently. Almost 2 kilometers long. Before 1990, Le Mans was the longest straight, but then they put the roundabouts. Do you follow motorsport?
Yes.
Yeah, so now you have the roundabouts in Le Mans. That's why it's not so long anymore. So yeah, first compression, going into the first corners, left curve, right curve, and then we're kind of taking the speed down, approaching the GP track. A bit on the brakes here, taking it easy. On the right you have the entrance to the old paddock, and you will see lots of race cars here right now. And if you would go straight, there's the GP track. Yeah, so here on the right, look at that, lots of race cars. So that's the second paddock now for the track day. And here is the start and finish line for the lap records. So the orange barrier on the right was the start line. Going into our second kilometer, 2 kilometer of Hudson-Bach. It's a very twisty section, but you need to have lots of trust in your car. And when it's well set up, you're pretty much fine. Double braking zone into Hudson-Bach, so you brake, let go, turn in, and brake again. If you don't let go of the brake, you will understeer, so you don't have to do it. Then, in this first part of the track, if your car has around, I would say 300 horsepower, you can keep up with the cars which have 500 or 600. But if you know the track, because it's all about handling, it's not about horsepower, as you can see.
Yeah.
But then once you get here, after this corner, it's a pretty long straight. So here horsepower can be important and interesting. How you like it so far?
Great.
Good.
Awesome.
I'm happy to hear it. So we're approaching Flugplatz. Just a small tap on the brake here, double right-hander here, so when you keep the steering wheel in the same position, the car will do double right-hander by itself, using all of the track, maintaining on the throttle. Left curve, middle, left curve, and going to Schwedenkreuz, which is the fastest section of the track. Some cars reach here speeds of slightly above 300 kilometers per hour. We're currently doing 206, 208, 11, 20, and then we go on the brakes. And always be important to be on the gas here for the weight distribution. And then we're approaching very hard braking zone in here. I'm going to take it a bit easier just because I want to save the car for today. But usually you would brake a lot harder and a lot later. And there you go, on the gas. Approaching Foxhole, and this is for many people, for many first-timers, this is the most exciting, the most crazy part, because you're going downhill and then you go uphill like Eau Rouge in Spa. So you're going to have a big compression feeling in 3, 2, 1, olé! And then you brake, turning in, going to skip the curbstone, just to save the car again, turning in. How'd you like that?
Right, like
a roller coaster, yeah. This is the part where a lot of people go straight on the grass because of light corner, so you can see it maybe on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then you have another straightaway.
Also did that in the computer game.
Ah, okay. So going straight into Metzgersfeld, small braking here, turning in on the throttle to the outside. Go on the brakes again. There's a bit faster car behind us, so we're going to let him pass. Just see for the best option. You can do it here. You can stay overtake on the right. So we're we're off the line here, but doesn't matter. And there we go. Small tap on the here, using a lot of the track. Now it's going to be a TCR race car, so we're going to stay on the left side so they can pass along. How'd you like that? Yeah, we cannot keep up with that because they're running full slicks.
Yeah.
There's another faster car behind us, so let's stay on the left so they can take the ideal line. Always be gentle. My mom always said, treat other people the way you want to be treated yourself, so that's why we're going to let them pass and give them the ideal line. This is the second entrance and exit point, right side. So on the right, you can get off the track, and it's another village, and you can go get ice cream, for example, when it's open. Unfortunately now, due to corona measures, the exit is closed. But last year, we would go here in the evenings, do half a lap, get off, go to the grocery shops, buy toilet paper and all kind of stuff. Back then, when toilet paper wasn't a scarcity. It's not anymore again either, but still. Bergberg, very light corner, late turning point, and on the gas again. Now, what I told you before, that the first part of the track, it doesn't matter how much horsepower you have. From this point, the track goes uphill a lot.
Yeah.
So if your car has less than 100 horsepower, you will not be driving faster than 120 kilometers per hour. That's how steep it is. Well, you kind of feel it with this car, but not too much because we have like 200 horsepower, so it's okay. But this is where the horsepower counts, and it's only 2 kilometers. So you're going to say, 2 kilometers, oh my god, that's a lot. But it's only 10% of the track. So that's why, for example, the difference between GT3 RS and GT2 RS, where they have difference in 200 horsepower, is only a few seconds. Moedkurve, which translates as the corner of courage. The question is how much you're going to brake. We just slightly, just to be safe. Before it was yellow, it's still yellow. Interesting. I thought they cleaned up the car. So we're gonna take it easy here. Okay. So on the left, the Steigsstrecke. In the past, you see how steep it is?
Yeah.
So they used that part of the track to test the cars. Basically, the whole Nürburgring they used to test the cars. But there it's so steep. It's, I believe, 27.5% incline. And basically, in the middle, there's like a kind of a gorge where, so when the engines would explode from the overheat, that the oil could drip down.
Okay.
It's really, really steep. But in the 60s, there were lots of accidents that cars would flip backwards and people would die. And because of that, they prohibited from the 60s to drive on that part. But before that, you had the choice. Well, the accident was here, it's not anymore, so I guess it's fine. Before that, you had the choice. Are you going to go this way or that way? So it was kind of a fun thing. And a few years ago, I used to rent a house here at the Nürburgring, and mother of the landlord, she's over 80 years old, and she asked me like, so are you also driving the track? Like, yes ma'am, I drive the track. Oh yeah, I only was there in the 60s with my husband on a motorbike, and we drove the Steigsstrecke, that section. I'm like, oh, I'm so jealous of you. You're so badass, you have no idea, and you're being so humble. So that's typical Nürburgring things. Like, this is a very cool section as well, Wippermann. You go from left to right, and approaching Eschbach into Brunchen, which is the YouTube corner. There are some people right now. So I'm going on the brakes, turning in, a left curve, and 3, 2, 1, ta-da, spectators. Not too many, but on a weekend it's full, and especially during races. I'm so happy that they opened it up again for people. Going into Brunchen 2. Again, using all of the track onto the curbstones, and going back right. Now we're going to go towards one of my favorite sections of the track. Glanzgarten 1, 2, and in the past it was also Glanzgarten 3, but then renamed it to Stephanbelov S. But still, it's lots of jumps, elevation changes, and if you have a very well set up car with ring sticks, good suspension, then you just keep the foot planted. Just do it the whole full throttle. Also lots of blind corners. This is a very scary section for many people because all of a sudden like, oh, we're going downhill. Right. And here, blinds, you don't know where to go. We're going straight. It's fine. We're approaching almost the end of the track. Schwab, the swallow's tail. I never understood it, but they say if you look on the track from up top, from the air, it looks like a swallow's tail. Okay, if they say so, I guess I have to believe them. Oh, DCR car. We need a yellow flag here. And then the last section of the track, Galleon Cup, or the gallows. Because in the past they used to hang up people here. In the Middle Ages. Last corner, flat out, using all of the track. And back to the main straight again.
Wow.
Well, hope you enjoyed.
Very well, yes.
Cool. And always use the main straight if you're coming up to cool down the car again, cool down the brakes. A lot of people go flat out and then they brake the last moment and the car is way too hot. But we did all the driving, hot driving on the track, so I guess we don't need to compensate for the main straight here.